Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Vesper. So we got some interesting stuff to talk about today regarding Street Fighter. There's a lot of discussion about this, a lot of news on this kind of. I wouldn't say it's a leak, but we got some sneak peek information on balance changes, and this all happened because Capcom announced a new costume coming to the game. Actually, this will be dropping today, and it'll be another Fighting EX layer costume, and Akuma is the lucky character that gets it. So as you guys have been, if you've been following, we've had like 5 previous costume with Fighting EX layer recently. So I guess they're gonna keep rolling these out. I mean, they're really, I don't know if these are extra costumes or they're hinting something, but we're probably gonna get 1 or 2 more before the big season 5 hits at this rate. So anyways, if you guys are interested in this costume, there'll be a maintenance happening today, and then after that maintenance is done, you'll be able to go into the extra battle section and you will have to fight Akuma. And the Fighting EX Layer costume is a Garuda costume for Akuma, which is actually looks really really nice. Akuma does have some cool costumes, and if you all you have to do is just beat it once on the extra battle. It costs 500 fight money per try, and then you'll get the Garuda costume with 8 colors. There'll be 2 more colors that you can unlock. I think like a week later by doing some weird challenges, like winning 5 ranked matches, or it's whatever it used to be for the other characters. But I know you guys are not interested in the costume. We're more interested on this nerf that we're talking about. So what went down was Capcom, when they announced that this costume was coming for Akuma, they showed this video just showcasing what the costume looks like. And Akuma was doing his normal B&Bs or whatever. And then within a second of watching this video, everyone's like, wait, what? Hold up. Akuma's doing his B&B and he's not side switching after he does V-skill kick light Tatsu? That's strange. And then they started comparing the footage and comparing what really happened. Actually, Nurse Lee did a nice comparison for us, so we can see exactly the difference between the current build of the game, and they obviously have a newer build of the game. And you can see they definitely did nerf it. Akuma no longer side switches with his B&B anymore. So a lot of people are talking about this. So first off, if you guys are wondering why is this considered a nerf, well, the side switch combo for Akuma is one of the strongest because one, it's meterless. It's basically his B&B, so he doesn't have to sacrifice any damage, and he gets some V gauge off the top because he uses his V skill kick. And Akuma is one of the most dangerous characters when he has you in the corner because of the mad amount of tools and how plus he is on everything. So Akuma, you putting Akuma into the corner, and then in just a second, if he hits you once, he can side switch you meterless. Is big trouble. And not only does he side switch you, a lot of side switches they side switch, but they don't put the opponent right in the corner like Akuma does. Akuma literally pushes you up against the wall, and he's standing right next to you. So it's a very deadly side switch. So I think Capcom was taking a look at this because Akuma's been nerfed before, but I think Capcom's really trying to figure out what makes Akuma really really strong, and they're trying to nerf other things because this is only one change that we've seen by accident. So if this change does end up rolling out, I'm trying to look at what alternatives Akuma will have to do this side switch, and he pretty much has to decide whether he can just do his normal B&B and do optimal damage where he goes, V-skill kick, Tatsu, and then uppercut, but then he won't side switch, which isn't that good. Akuma definitely wants to put the opponent in the corner. So I guess what players are going to do is they're going to start whiffing. They're going to do medium kick Tatsu from his V-skill kick, and that will side switch, but he loses a lot of damage. He'll sacrifice a lot of damage, and on top of that, he won't really push him right up against the wall like he did before. So, but he still gets Oki though, which is good. Like I think that's going to be the case. I mean, unless Capcom secretly nerf that as well, and medium Tatsu doesn't cross up, but I doubt it. Another alternative he can do, he can do EX Demon Flip after V skill kick, and that should also side switch as well, but it costs meter, and once again, it doesn't push the opponent right up against the wall. So no matter what, like no matter how you look at this is definitely a nerf for Akuma. I mean, I see some people say that, mid screen this will give him better corner carry. But I mean, if you want corner carry with Akuma, you can just go V skill Demon Flip and then just do the palm smash, and that's pretty good corner carry and Oki. In general for mid screen. So I mean, Akuma players did that before, anyways. If they really want the corner carry, they can also do EX Demon Flip and just let him slide, and it'll really push him towards the corner. So there's pretty much those options as well. The one thing about Akuma is that at the end of the day, as good and as strong as Akuma is, he's probably top two best character in the game. He still has very low health. You know what I mean? He's still a very delicate character, and when you're playing him at high level, like pro level, if you get put in the corner with Akuma and you get hit like just twice, it's pretty much lights out. So this is something that Capcom is definitely focusing on to add more to that glass cannon feel with Akuma, so that if you do screw up, you're gonna pay dearly. Or you won't reward Akuma too much. The side switch, do massive damage, and still get Oki and nothing to sacrifice, right? So, with this in mind, I'm thinking, is Capcom going to also nerf Akuma's V-trigger side switch? So, what a lot of Akuma players do is that they do reverso EX uppercut, cancel in the V-trigger. They can go back fierce or back hard punch into uppercut, and he'll side switch. It kind of looks buggy, but he side switches, and you get a hard knockdown side switch in the corner, which is very, very strong. If Capcom's going to get rid of that B&B side switch, I wonder if they're going to go after this too. I kind of suspect they will, because it almost doesn't look intended the way the animation is. Very, very strange. But it's a cool find. It's cool tech, for sure. But every Akuma player uses this. You guys are probably also wondering, why are we seeing these balance changes so early when they're showing the footage? And most of the time, from the history of Street Fighter, like, you can tell a lot of these balance patches are pretty much done and wrapped up around a month or two before they actually are released, because obviously you have to play test this, but we can see on the history there's some characters that perform really well at Capcom Cup and they don't end up getting nerfed. And it's like sometimes you're like, okay, why didn't this character get nerfed when they just did so well? Characters like Rashid didn't get super nerfed, and you're kind of wondering. It's because these balance patches roll out, they already decide these well ahead within the year, and most of it is figured out. And near the end of the year, it doesn't seem like Capcom has done many changes on the most recent events, which kind of, it kind of worries me. But sometimes we have these emergency patches. It's always Abigail, man. Every time we go through these emergency patches with Abigail, they'll always overtune him and they'll nerf him really quick, a week or two afterwards. We know even after this big balance patch for Season 5, there will be one more final balance patch before Street Fighter V dies when the last character is released. But I'm sure there'll be emergency patches as well. I think even within the year, it's easy to see that there's some characters that are really strong. I think the top 4 right now would be Akuma, Rashid, Urien, and Seth. I think Seth will be the biggest target for Capcom. Even before Capcom Cup, we're seeing Seth absolutely everywhere in all these tournaments, especially Street Fighter League. Seth seems to be the go-to pocket character. Seth is not really hard to play, and that's what makes Seth such a powerful pocket character as well. So we'll have to see what Capcom does, and we'll have to see how the results of Capcom Cup, if they even influence it. But Capcom is not going to wait after Dan to release this balance patch, because it seems like all these tie together, right? The design on Dan, whatever this new mechanic is, and this balance patch all has to roll out at once. It can't come one at a time. And considering that they said that Dan's coming out at the end of February and Capcom Cup finals will be the end of February, I wouldn't be surprised if the balance patch and everything roll out literally right after Capcom Cup finals takes place. But I don't think you guys are super surprised that Akuma got a nerf. It's just really interesting that we got to see kind of what direction Capcom's going. We got to see a little preview of that. I think it's cool. I really think that Capcom should show a preview on some of these balance patches beforehand, because it causes a lot of conversation. It's nice discussing the alternatives and stuff that Akuma will go forward. If this is like the only nerf Akuma gets, that doesn't mean Akuma is going to drop down from top tier. I guarantee it. But it is something that's very strong with Akuma, and it is a nerf for the character for sure. Akuma players will definitely feel it. So we'll see. Maybe Capcom will buff that V skill too, because that V skill 2 for Akuma is just terrible. It's a really cool V skill, but I hope that they kind of give incentive to use it, because that'd be fun to play myself. So anyways, what do you guys think about these Akuma nerfs? Is it justified? Does Akuma have an alternative? This is not even going to leave a scratch on him. Let me know in the comments below, guys, and I'll keep you guys posted if anything else comes up before Capcom Cup. Alright guys, take care.